Amanda Blake truly hated him more than anyone. Amanda Blake, here's the talented actress who forever won audiences' hearts as the charming Miss Kitty in the legendary Western Gunsmoke, is still remembered for her warm smile and undeniable charisma. But behind that gentle exterior was a powerful spirit few ever truly saw. Hollywood, with all its glitter and tangled relationships, never really felt like home to Amanda. After stepping away from Gunsmoke following its 19th season, she gradually withdrew from the spotlight. Yet, the frustration she held towards certain figures in the industry lingered quietly in the background. For years, many believed her passing was caused by oral cancer linked to her smoking habit. But the truth behind her final years was far more layered. In those later moments, Amanda did not hold back. She openly mentioned several stars she couldn't stand, revealing a rare glimpse into Hollywood's hidden tensions, the grudges, rivalries, and emotional strain that often simmered behind the glamour. This is the startling story of the stars Amanda Blake was said to have strong feelings about and why she wanted the public to know. But before we dive into that, if you're a fan of Gunsmoke and Amanda Blake, don't forget to subscribe for more compelling stories. Amanda Blake, born Beverly Louise Neal on February 20th, 1929 in Buffalo, New York, grew up far from the Hollywood spotlight. Her family later relocated to Claremont, California, the place where her passion for acting truly began to grow. Raised in a supportive and loving environment, Amanda developed confidence in her artistic abilities early on. Alongside her love for performing, Amanda had a lifelong devotion to animals. This deep affection stayed with her throughout her life and eventually inspired her involvement in animal welfare and conservation. As a young student, Amanda Blake was a born performer. She threw herself into school plays and community theater, discovering early on how much she loved stepping into different characters. Those first experiences didn't just spark her passion, they laid the groundwork for the Hollywood journey she would later pursue. By the late 1940s, that ambition carried her straight to the doors of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer MGM, one of the most influential studios of its era. At the time, MGM was home to many of Hollywood's most glamorous names, including the esteemed Greer Garson. The studio was known for grooming newcomers to eventually take the place of their established stars, and Amanda was reportedly brought in as a possible successor to Garson. This kind of shaping and molding of new talent was a standard practice in Hollywood's golden age. Fresh actors were often guided or controlled to fit the image studios wanted, but Amanda Blake was never the type to live in someone else's shadow. She began with small, sometimes uncredited appearances, working relentlessly to carve out a space for herself. Her determination paid off when she secured the role that would elevate her career forever. Miss Kitty Russell on Gunsmoke. With her poise, inner strength, and irresistible charm, Amanda transformed what started as a studio opportunity into a legacy that belonged entirely to her. She became one of television's most cherished figures. Amanda's career reached its defining moment when she stepped into the role of Miss Kitty Russell on the hit series Gunsmoke, which debuted in 1955. Her portrayal of the resilient yet warm saloon owner broke new ground. At a time when television offered few portrayals of independent, strong-willed women, Miss Kitty stood out as something truly rare. In 419 of the show's 20 landmark seasons, Blake held audiences spellbound. Her blend of elegance, quiet determination, and heartfelt sincerity earned her critical acclaim and cemented her status as a beloved television icon. Set in the rough-and-tumble town of Dodge City, Kansas during the early frontier days, Gunsmoke explored the daily struggles of its townspeople as they faced danger, hardship, and the challenges of survival. As the proprietor of the Long Branch Saloon, Miss Kitty was far more than just another character. She was the emotional core of the community. Often acting as a confidant and steady support for Marshal Matt Dillon, played by James Aries, she gave the series depth and humanity. Thanks to Blake's nuanced performance, Miss Kitty evolved into a powerful symbol of compassion, resilience, and enduring strength. One of the most influential female roles ever to grace the small screen. In the final years of her life, Amanda Blake didn't hold back. She spoke openly about the 5 stars she had strong negative feelings toward, shedding light on the hidden rivalries, quiet grudges, and simmering tensions that often lay beneath Hollywood's glamorous surface. This is the revealing story of the celebrities Amanda Blake reportedly struggled to get along with. Number 1. Milburn Stone. Milburn Stone, known for his role as Doc Adams, was one of the seasoned pillars of Gunsmoke. Early on, Amanda felt slightly overshadowed by his standing in the cast. At first, I had my frustrations with Milburn. He got third billing and I wanted it, she once confessed. Stone's calm, disciplined manner sometimes clashed with Amanda's more expressive and spirited nature. creating occasional friction on set. But as time passed, Amanda developed a deep appreciation for his professionalism. Stone gradually became a mentor, offering advice on managing long shooting days, tackling challenging scenes, and coping with fame. What began as tension eventually matured into genuine admiration and friendship. Their evolving relationship became one of the most encouraging bonds behind the scenes, a reminder that first impressions in Hollywood can be deceiving. Number 2. James Aries. James Aries, the actor behind Marshall Matt Dillon, served as the foundation of Gunsmoke. Although their characters shared hints of romance, Blake and Aries approached their work quite differently. Aries tended to be quiet and introspective, while Blake brought energy and emotional openness to the set. These contrasting styles sometimes created friction, especially when Amanda pushed for greater complexity in her character storyline. Even so, the two maintained a strong professional respect. They learned to navigate their differences, ultimately creating one of television's most memorable on-screen partnerships. Amanda later acknowledged that Ariza's unwavering commitment to the show was admirable, even if their personal dynamics didn't always align smoothly behind the scenes. Their partnership shows how successful collaboration often demands patience, flexibility, and mutual understanding. Number 3. Burt Reynolds. Before achieving superstardom, Burt Reynolds appeared in several Gunsmoke episodes. Blake viewed Reynolds as confident, occasionally too confident, but she also sensed his tremendous potential. His bold energy and willingness to improvise sometimes disrupted the rehearsing style the cast was accustomed to. Amanda, who valued order and precision, occasionally struggled to adapt to his unpredictable approach. Yet, she never dismissed his ability or magnetism, both of which would later fuel his rise to iconic status. Looking back, Reynolds' early behavior seems less like arrogance and more like the adventurous enthusiasm of a young actor trying to prove himself in a demanding environment. Blake's reflections reveal a great deal about the early interactions between rising Hollywood talents. Number 4. Ken Curtis. Ken Curtis, who portrayed Pheasas Hagen, was adored for his humor, warmth, and lively personality. But Blake sometimes struggled with his spontaneous improvisations, especially when she was concentrating on delivering a polished, precise performance. His exuberant energy and her more measured approach occasionally created small disruptions behind the scenes. Yet, Amanda always appreciated his comedic brilliance and the heart he brought to the Gunsmoke family. Whatever disagreements arose were overshadowed by the friendship and mutual support that developed during their many years on set. Her reflections paint a realistic picture of Hollywood teamwork, moments of difficulty balanced by deep camaraderie. When Amanda Blake revealed she would be leaving Gunsmoke after its 19th season, the news struck fans deeply. For nearly 2 decades, she had embodied Miss Kitty Russell, the sharp, fearless, quick-witted owner of the Long Branch Saloon, a woman unafraid to stand tall in a rough, male-dominated world. To viewers, she was far more than a supporting character. She was the emotional anchor of Dodge City, and when Amanda stepped away, many felt the heart of Gunsmoke went with her. The show struggled through one last season before ending, a clear sign that Gunsmoke simply wasn't the same without her. Miss Kitty was unlike any other female character on television at the time. Tough yet, tender, bold, yet compassionate, she carried a quiet strength that made her unforgettable. Fans loved her independence and resilience, qualities that reflected Amanda's own spirit. But what truly captivated audiences was her undeniable chemistry with James Arisa's Marshall Matt Dillon. Their connection hovered somewhere between friendship and something deeper, a subtle emotional tension that kept viewers invested year after year. Whenever the two shared a scene, it felt as if Dodge City held its breath. By the time Amanda chose to leave, she had appeared in more than 500 episodes, becoming one of TV's most enduring faces. But behind the grace and poise she brought to the camera, she felt worn down by the routine. Nearly 20 years of early mornings, long workdays, and playing the same role had taken their toll. Amanda decided it was time for a new chapter, one far from Hollywood's constant demands. After filming her last episode, she quietly packed her things and settled into her ranch home in Phoenix, Arizona. Away from the constant noise of Hollywood, Amanda found a different kind of joy, one marked by peaceful mornings, wide open skies, and the comforting presence of the animals she cherished. Her lifelong passion for wildlife and animal welfare finally had the space to flourish. With the financial security she earned from her long tenure on Gunsmoke, Amanda no longer felt compelled to chase roles or maintain fame. Instead, she chose a life defined by tranquility and personal fulfillment, surrounded by the creatures she loved most. After nearly 20 years giving her heart to the world as Miss Kitty, stepping away allowed her to finally give her heart back to herself. In many ways, this was her greatest triumph. Amanda Blake, known to millions for Gunsmoke, was not only an accomplished actress, she was a woman with a remarkable and unwavering love for animals. From childhood, she felt an instinctive bond with all living creatures, a connection that only deepened over time. Her devotion to animals often drew attention, such as the memorable moment she brought her pet lion to the Gunsmoke set, an incident that astonished both fans and colleagues. But her commitment went far beyond a single headline. Amanda and her third husband, Frank Gilbert, whom she was married to from 1967 to 1982, shared this passion wholeheartedly. Together, they cared for several cheetahs and even operated an experimental cheetah breeding program at their home. Remarkably, the project succeeded. They became among the first people to breed cheetahs in captivity, raising 7 generations of the endangered species. This achievement wasn't just born of curiosity. It reflected Amanda's deep compassion and her determination to protect wildlife on the brink. While some might question the idea of keeping cheetahs at home, Amanda's actions were rooted in genuine concern and a desire to make a difference. She was a devoted advocate for animal rights and spent much of her life working to improve conditions for animals everywhere. She co-founded the Arizona Animal Welfare League, which has grown into Arizona's largest and oldest no-kill shelter, saving countless lives. In 1985, she also helped fund the Performing Animal Welfare Society, PAWS, continuing to support its mission to protect abused and mistreated animals throughout her later years. Amanda's dedication did not go unnoticed. In 1984, she received the Courage Award from the Humane Society of the United States for her outstanding work in animal welfare. The honor was personally presented by President Ronald Reagan, a testament to the national recognition of her efforts. Sadly, Amanda Blake passed away in 1989, leaving behind a legacy not only on screen, but in the world of animal protection, a legacy that continues to inspire. Although Amanda Blake's passing marked the end of her life, her influence only continued to expand. In 1997, the Amanda Blake Memorial Wildlife Refuge was founded in Harold, California. Created to honor her memory, the refuge became a sanctuary for exotic African animals living in the U.S., many rescued from trafficking, displacement, or unsafe conditions. Because of Amanda's passion and her unwavering vision, these animals gained a protected home where they could live safely and freely. Throughout her life, Amanda proved that her devotion to animals was far more than a simple interest. It was her purpose. From pioneering cheetah breeding efforts to helping build organizations that still save lives today, her commitment to animal welfare was extraordinary. She remains a powerful reminder of how one person's compassion can leave a lasting mark on the natural world. Amanda Blake, the beloved actress celebrated for her role on Gunsmoke, was just 60 years old when she passed away on August 16, 1989. At first, the public was told that she died from oral cancer, a disease she had fought in the 1970s. A longtime smoker, Amanda had undergone surgery for oral cancer in 1977, only a few years after leaving Gunsmoke. Because of this history, most people believed cancer had claimed her life, but the truth was far more private and far more shocking. Amanda had chosen to keep the real cause of her illness confidential, sharing it only with her closest friends. Despite the challenges she faced personally, she continued to devote herself to the causes she cared about most, particularly animal protection. When she died, Amanda left her entire estate to PAWS, the animal welfare organization she had spent much of her later life supporting. Her generosity reflected her lifelong dedication to animals. Though the decision was not accepted by everyone, some of her relatives challenged the will, arguing she had not been of sound mind, hoping to obtain the inheritance themselves. It was during this legal dispute that the truth about her passing finally surfaced. Amanda Blake had been living with AIDS, and her death was caused by liver failure resulting from the disease. This revelation placed her among the earliest well-known Hollywood figures to die from AIDS alongside names like Rock Hudson. At the time, AIDS carried intense stigma and was widely misunderstood, which helps explain why Amanda chose to protect her privacy. She received her diagnosis a year before she died, and according to those who knew her best, she faced it with courage, grace, and surprising optimism. Even in her final days, she held on to determination and hope. Her agent later shared that one of Amanda's final wishes was for him to help her secure a new acting role. Even though her career had slowed in her later years, her determination and desire to work again remained unwavering, one of the qualities that made her so beloved both on and off the screen. Amanda Blake's story extends far beyond her television fame. It is a story of courage, compassion, and the quiet resilience she showed in the face of a devastating illness. Her legacy endures not only through the unforgettable character she portrayed, but also through the charitable causes she devoted herself to until the very end. Amanda Blake, remembered worldwide for her iconic role on Gunsmoke, passed away due to complications related to AIDS. How she contracted the virus remains uncertain. Throughout her life, Amanda married 4 times, yet she was never publicly known for behavior that would have placed her at heightened risk, nor was she associated with drug use. Her 4th husband, Mark Spaeth, also died from AIDS. The two married in 1984 and he passed away a year later. While some have suggested Amanda may have contracted the virus from Mark, others have proposed the opposite, that he may have contracted it from her. Another widely discussed theory points to Amanda's humanitarian trips to Africa, where she frequently traveled for wildlife conservation work. Some speculate that she may have been exposed to the virus during one of these journeys. Amanda received her AIDS diagnosis just 1 year before her death in 1989, but she refused to let it overshadow her final chapter. Even while fighting the illness, she stayed committed to the causes closest to her heart. Beyond her acting success, Amanda Blake was a passionate advocate for animal welfare. She played a vital role in founding several animal protection organizations, groups that continue to make a meaningful impact today. Her life reminds us that behind Hollywood's glittering image, there are often untold struggles and acts of quiet bravery. And through her lifelong devotion to animals, Amanda Blake left a legacy that continues to inspire new generations.